Hi guys, it's been a while, I know. Firstly, where has this year gone? I can't believe it's December already. I just felt like I went to sleep and I woke up and it's already December. My mum will probably laugh and say, hey, you sleep too much. You're always sleeping. Anyway, I wanted to do a kind of chit-chatty, get ready with me using some products that I recently bought over the past few weeks. I've been using them off camera, so I thought that I would use them in a tutorial and just chill out. Before I start, if you're not a part of this family, you need to click the button down below which is subscribe, and also click on the bell which will notify you of any new videos that I do, which I will be doing more often. I promise. It just finally feels nice to be able to like sit down, chill out, get ready, have some fun with a new product, just talk about what's been going on. Let me know if you like this kind of video as well and I will do more of them. But for now, let's get started. I'm going to start off by going with the MAC Studio Moisture Cream. I have been loving this because it has hyaluronic acid in it, so it gives my skin that extra plump when it's feeling a bit dry and dehydrated. It's not been so bad because I'm still in the Philippines, but usually when I go back home to London, I'm so dry and I'm like so chapped. This is my first warm Christmas here in the Philippines. Usually I go back home to the UK, so it's a bit different for me. My family back home do a really big Christmas. They like all get together on Christmas Eve and do like a cheese night, and then on Christmas Day they do like a big breakfast, and then they do a Christmas dinner. And then the day after, for the past few years, we've gone over to my cousin's house where they've done a big gammon and fries, which I'm so gutted to be missing out on. At the same time, I'm so excited to do something different. Not quite sure what the plans are at the moment, but hopefully somewhere near, but far enough. Just so that I can get some time to relax, because it's something that I really need, and I know Jay needs it as well. He's been really busy with his projects and stuff. I've been trying to organise all my work here, and believe it or not, I do more than just sit around and play with makeup. We work together on some businesses, and then I do some things to control what he does, like I should. So I'm heavily involved in what he gets up to, making sure he's doing his job correctly. Oh, I did tell you what that was. That was the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base, which I really love because it just hydrates your face really nicely and creates a nice base for your makeup. So I've just been doing a lot at home. I work from home as well, and then I have my studio in my house, which I haven't actually filmed properly since I've been back. I've tried to film so many times, but there's just something comes up all the damn time. I know that's not an excuse. We wanted to try and get so much moving and done before the year ends, which I'm completely not ready for. I can't believe it's December. What is this hair? I've only got one present under the Christmas tree, and that's from me to Jay, so he needs to sort himself out, otherwise I'm gonna go crazy. I haven't even got the dog anything. Just such a mess. For my base, I'm going to be using the Fenty Pro Filter foundation. It's the new foundation for me. I haven't been using it that often. I've tried it here and there. I generally use like a pump and a bit, not too much. I'm in the shade 250, and I explained in one of my last videos why I use this shade, because a lot of people with my skin color tend to use something between like 290 to 330. When I went and got myself color matched, I took some of my foundations with me. I took the Makeup Forever stick foundation, and I took my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk foundation, and 250 had the same kind of undertone as those two foundations, so I went with that, knowing that the foundation oxidizes. So I've used this a few times, and I don't really know why everyone's so in love with it. I don't know if I'm the only person who feels that way, but I don't like the foundation on its own because it's got a soft matte formula. And I know that's what it says on the bottle, and I know that what people like about it, and it is really different. It's really different to all the foundations. I think I've got about 14 foundations, and it's so different to all of those. It does have a skin-like texture, but it's slightly drying on my skin, so I go in with the Matte Prep and Prime essential oils, and I just add a tiny bit in there, maybe just like one and a bit drops. Sometimes two. I know what some people are like when they add oils to their products, and it gives them more of a dewy finish, but with this it tends to keep the soft matte finish, which is something I like about it. I just mix the two together. I start by applying foundation on the cheek area because I feel like I need more coverage here, and then I just sheer it out towards the back. To blend that out, I'm going to use the Precision Makeup Sponge by Fenty. It's rounded on one side, and then it's got a flat end on the other side, and then it's got a flat tip as well, so I'm going to try and see how this works. Feeling it, it's actually a lot softer. It actually is a lot softer than the Beauty Blender and the Real Technique sponge. I really like my Real Technique sponge. One, because it does the job the same as the Beauty Blender, and two, because it's a lot more affordable. This is, I think it was £16. No, how much is it? With my phone, You gotta work really quickly because it dries really quickly as well. It is 1,000 pesos, which it's $16. I bought it from Sephora PH on a Black Friday deal, so I didn't pay full price, which always makes a purchase better. Can you see it gives a really nice natural finish without... Recently I haven't been putting foundation on the outside of my face. I just go in straight with bronzer if I have to. I just think it gives a more natural look. Even though I'm not that fond of the formula by itself, it's the only foundation which looks flawless on my nose. Everything else tends to look a bit cakey after a couple of hours, which I hate. I don't know why, I've got like texture on my nose, but let me put a bit on my chin. Oh, she is good. I do like this. Is it revolutionary? No. Is it a nice product? Yes. I would definitely buy it on a deal. I don't know if I'd buy it full price. Put a tiny bit more coverage around my mouth area and on my smile line. I try not to take the foundation too up close to my eyes because I like to put concealer there, so I don't like the extra layer. I've tried the foundation a few times by itself, and I just find that when I use it alone, I just feel like it's too patchy, and it picks up on all of my dry patches, and I'm not even that dry, so I can't imagine what it's like for people with dry skin. So if you have dry skin and you'd like this foundation, let me know what you do to make it work for you, because I have to always mix it with the oil. This would probably be really, really perfect on people with oily skin. So as you can see, this is kind of lighter than what I'd normally go for. Normally in foundations, I tend to go for something a bit more warmer because it has that peachy undertone, but this has that peachiness to it. Oh, there's a fly. When you try and match foundation to your skin color, most people say to match it with your neck and then make it all look like one. But because my face is darker than my body, when I match my face to my neck, the foundation tends to turn a little bit grey because it doesn't have that warmth in it. And I find that this color in this foundation has the same warmth as a deeper color in other foundations, which is something that I really like about it. I just want to quickly show you that this is the bottle. And this is what I put on my hand. Can you see how much darker it's gotten because it's oxidized? So just be aware of that. Make sure you take a sample or try it out on the day and walk around in the store and see if it oxidizes on you, because if I had bought a darker shade in this, I probably couldn't use it. Now for concealer, I'm going to be using the NARS Really Queenie Concealer in the color Ginger. This is also another one which has that perfect peachiness which will counteract all those dark circles under the eyes. I find that my dark circles have improved significantly because for the past 2 weeks I gave up drinking tea. Anyone who knows me knows that if you try and talk to me before I drink a cup of tea in the morning, it's like cutting out tea has been really good for my dark circles. If that's a problem for you, it might be the caffeine in your life. I did, however, today have 1 cup of tea in the morning because I went to the endocrinologist yesterday, which is the hormone doctor, and I love my one in the Philippines. It's so different how the doctors here explain everything compared to the ones in the UK. In the UK, you have a blood test and they're like, yeah, you have this problem, yeah, you need this medicine, go out and get it. And then there's no explanation. So when I was trying to explain to my doctor here that I don't know what my problem was before because they never told me, they just gave me medicines, and she was like, oh. For those of you who don't know, I have hypothyroidism, which is an underactive thyroid. I've had it for about 6-7 years. Well, I don't know how long I've had it. It's been 6 years since I've known I've had it. Yeah, when I got tested back home, they just did my tests and then they gave me the medicine. They didn't explain what the results mean, what they need to do to test for certain things. I understand that they're doing their job, but it's my body. I want to understand what's going on and how I can make it better and what happens if I don't take the medicine. I want to know. They don't explain that to you there. I'm going to leave this to sit for a little while because I noticed that the longer that I let it sit, it sets in that way. It's going to give it a fuller coverage. While I let that sit, I'm going to go in with bronzer from Chanel. I love this stuff. It's overpriced, yes, I know. A little goes a really long way, so sometimes it's okay to treat yourself. I just felt like nothing was ever explained to me properly. It was just like, oh, let's get this woman in, let's test her, let's give her the medicines, go. Next woman, let's get her in, test her, medicines, go. Here, I felt like she actually cared. So I'm just going to pat this in around what's this area called? The hollows of my cheek, just to add a tiny bit of a contour. I know bronzing and contour are different things, but I tend not to contour all the time because I don't always want a structured look. Yeah, so she sent me to test for all my hormones and the test came back. There was one hormone which was like 5 times the level that the maximum should be. So she was like, oh my God, let's see why it happened. Here's the difference. She didn't just send me off with my medicine and not explain to me what's happening. She told me what she was giving me and why she was giving me such a dosage. And then she sent me for other tests to see the cause of it. And then I found out that it's due to Hashimoto's, which is an autoimmune disease which attacks your gland because it thinks it's a virus or something foreign. Now this is only the stuff that I've googled and what she's told me and what I've understood of what the doctors told me. I hope I'm not offending any medics out there. I'm so grateful for the first doctor who told me to go for that blood test though. She was an Indian woman and she noticed it straight away because of my symptoms, which I'm going to Google right now. Every time someone gives me at least 2 of these symptoms, I tell them go for a blood test and get your thyroid checked. Feeling cold when other people are. I always used to be cold no matter what it was. I can't remember the last time that I was actually too hot. Next one is weight gain, which I haven't really suffered a lot of, touch wood, because I'm generally at the gym all the time or I'm doing something active. Hypothyroidism comes in women who are generally bigger, so I was quite surprised that that's what it was. Feeling really tired, yes, that was the biggest one for me. I was so tired every day when I was working in London. I used to get up around 5:30 and then I used to go to work, come back, and I used to be in bed by 9 o'clock and I was so exhausted from my day. And then on weekends when I wasn't doing bookings for privates and parties, I used to sleep till like 11 and I was tired and I used to go to bed at 9 o'clock again. Generally you lose hair as well, and I haven't noticed that my hair fall has been so bad. Maybe it's a bit more than other people, but I can't say. Okay, I'm going to blend with this concealer before it completely dries up. I quite like the fact that it's got a flat edge at the top. You can get right into your under eye. Can you see that it's just stayed in this area? It's not gone too far down or up or around, it's just in the zone. Another symptom is feeling sad or depressed. I don't ever really feel depressed. Sometimes I get sad, but then I have ice cream. Actually, I was pretty sad after I finished watching Jane the Virgin. If you don't know what that is, it's like a really funny modern day Spanish soap opera. I just started watching it on a flight because I had like, I think an hour to land, and I was just like, I want to watch something that's not going to cause me to think about anything or whatever, so I just like, oh, Jane the Virgin, let's try that. And I loved it. If you watch Jane the Virgin, then you know which part made me really sad, and the show hasn't been the same since that happened. But anyway, I'm not really a big show person other than that. And Jane from Jane the Virgin, I believe, also suffers from Hashimoto's, which is, it's not nice, but it's so nice to have something that you can relate to in somebody who's doing so well for themselves. I'm going to set my eyes with MAC Soft Focus. I know I'm practically all the way through this. I never finished the edges of any products, and then I came across Project Pan on YouTube, which is basically trying to finish off all the products that you buy, and it encourages you not to buy so much. It made me dig out this old one again and use it. And then for face, I'm going to be using the NYX No Filter Finishing Powder. This is generally what you use at the end of makeup, but I don't really want to be powdering my entire skin because the foundation is a soft matte finish, so I don't want it to look too dry. I just turned the aircon off because it's getting so cold in here. I'm using the Hoola bronzer from Benefit. It's got a little insert in here which holds the brush as well, so that will stop it from getting into the product and making it dirty and even like causing holes in there, which is nice. I'm going to go in and bronze my face, and I'm going to use the little brush that comes along with it. I don't know if you remember my last haul. I said that I bought the Marc Jacobs bronzer instead of the Hoola bronzer because I just felt like it was better quality. And for some reason, I still go into a store and I still go and swatch the Hoola bronzer. And I thought, why don't I just buy it and see what's making me go back to the Hoola bronzer every time I go into a shop. I thought about it, and then I saw Black Friday deals and I purchased this. And taking the brush that it comes with, I thought it would be really stiff. Oh, not bad. It's coming up quite red. Yeah, that's a bit better. Go in with less. I do like this brush. This is probably the first brush that I've ever liked in a package that comes with a product. I'm gonna bronze up my forehead, bring it down to a forehead. Maybe a 3.5. My face is already really small, so if I didn't have such a large forehead, it would be even smaller, which I do get those comments like, oh, your forehead is too big. Oh, you've got a 5 head. Be quiet. I'm going to try a bit on my nose. Oh, nice! Oh, these bits have come out. So for blush, I'm going to be using the Milani Baked Blush in Luminoso. It's one of my favorites. I've only had it a couple of months, but I use it almost every time I put makeup on, especially when I'm going out for like a daytime event or just like for dinner or something. I just find it's got some really nice sheen in there. Can you see it? It gives you a really nice blush to the cheek. It has this kind of shimmer in it, so you don't really need to put too much highlight on. I find that if I wear this and I have pictures taken, it makes me look extra shiny in this area here, which is where my pores are, which makes me look a bit more oily and greasy, and it's not a good look. So I tend to only wear this when I know that I'm just going out for the day. and I'm not going to have photos taken. If I'm going to have photos taken, I will generally go for a matte blush, because it will give the colour here, and then I can put the highlight up here, which will shine really, really nicely in the right light, and it doesn't shine down here. Can you see here? It just shines here, and then it looks really nice at the moment. Once I've worn the makeup for a little bit and the oils have seeped out, you'll notice, well, I noticed that I look really greasy around the centre of my face, and I just want to keep that matte. If you're shiny around this area, it's just like, ugh. I see so many pictures of people with luminoso on at a really nice event, and I'm just like, why? Why? Moving on to highlight, I'm going to go in with Fuego from the Desi x Katie collection. I just love these highlights from Dose of Colors, the Mirame and the Fuego, and it's just one of my favourite formulas because it's so fine on the skin. It doesn't highlight any of the imperfections, it just gives a really nice glisten to the tops of your cheekbones or wherever you want to put it. I find that with some other highlights that I can use, if I have a bit of texture on the skin, it really, really picks it up. But this just looks like a glow from within. I know that a lot of people like to put highlight on the top of their Cupid's bow. I don't like a really shiny highlight. It looks like your nose is running and it looks really, really disgusting. I don't know why people do that. Next, oh, eyebrows. I haven't had my eyebrows this thin in so long. I just feel like where I want my hair to grow, it doesn't grow, and everywhere else, it just grows. I had an eyebrow hair on my eyelid, which I had to pluck out. Why does it grow on my eyelid? Why? Recently I've just been going for more of a natural brow. I just follow the shape of the brow. Although I don't like thinner brows on me, it makes it so much easier for when I'm just doing them. So I just did the other eyebrow and I primed my eyelids off camera because you see me do it a million times already. For eyebrows, I use the Dip Brow Pomade from Anastasia Beverly Hills with the number 12 brush, which is my jam when I want a long-lasting brow that's going to sit through anything, any heat, any weather conditions, any activity, anything, through sleep, everything. It's going to stay there. Yes, it takes a bit of time getting used to it, and yes, when you start, you will have really, really heavy eyebrows, and it might look a bit weird, but once you get used to it, I promise you will be happy. On to the eyeshadow. I am using a new palette, well, a new palette to me. This is the Naked Heat palette from Urban Decay. It comes in really, really cute packaging. It comes out like this, and then you put the palette, and then you take it out of the box. It's really cute. It comes with little matchsticks and little roses on the back. I don't keep all the packages of the palettes that I own. I only really keep the ones with a soft velvety texture. There's a fly in here. Like the Modern Renaissance, I keep that one just because when I'm traveling I don't want it to like get really, really, really dirty. Generally palettes are pretty good. So if you're into warm colors, this is going to be right up your street. It comes with 12 really nice warm shades. It's got I think 7 mattes and 5 shimmers in there, which is a good ratio of mattes to shimmers. You always want to have a palette with more mattes in there because it gives you more dimension to the eye, and then shimmers are really easy to create a pop on your lid. The brush doesn't suck as much as the other Naked palettes do, but it's not the best brush in the world, but you can make do with it. I'm going to start by taking this lighter shade right here, which is Ounce, and put that in 5 points right at the top. Ah, maybe I should zoom you in. Can you see my pores yet? Okay, like I was saying, I'm going to go in right at the high point of the brow here. Normally I would take this shade along here and blend it out, and along here and blend it out, but because it's got some shimmer in there, I just want it to hit that high point. I don't want it to be shimmery all along the brow bone because it's going to look really dated. So you just want to touch a tiny bit right where you want that light to be and not along the whole thing. You see me? Do the same on the inner corner. You don't want to go too heavy right now. You can always add, but it's really hard to take away. Yes, in the corner. I just do this to balance the eye. You can do this at the end, it doesn't really matter. And then taking a Morphe, I do have a Morphe goat. I think it's the R37. It's just a domed kind of brush. Some of these bristles look like they want to go somewhere, do you know what I mean? I've just gone and poked my finger in the eyeshadow. I'm going to start off with Source, which is this one here. I'm going to put this all over my crease. Now, with a tapered brush, you just want to get the product on the tip of the brush. Can you see? I just realized that I'm wearing one earring. Face palm. I don't know why I do this. I always put one earring in, then I do something else, and then I completely forget, and I'll turn up somewhere with one earring and no one will tell me. Gonna go in with Source, which is this one right here. I'm gonna go into the crease of this. What I do is I look down. So can you see I've got a hooded eye. So where my fold is in my eye is here. Where my crease is up here. So I've got this extra bit of flappy skin, which I don't want, and I need to try to hide it. Go all the way to the inner and outer corner. Right, can you see the difference already? This one looks like it's got a bit of shape going to the eye. This one is flat. Next, I'm going to take Low Blow, which is this one. Oi! This one right here. It's got less orange in that colour, so I'm just going to go in and go just underneath that colour. Not underneath, just below that colour. I'm not going to blend it out as much as the first colour that I used. Can you see that it's starting to create some dimension? Jaclyn Hill always has a really nice blend in her eyeshadows because she uses about 50,000 brown shades in her crease. And while ain't nobody got time for that, that's why she's slaying all the time. These matte shades are really nice. They are pigmented, but they're not too pigmented in the sense that you can't blend them out. They've got a really nice balance between blendability and pigmentation. Then going in with Cayenne, which is this deep reddish color here. I'm going to take a smaller blending brush. I'm going to apply that to the tip, and I'm going to pack that on to the outer corner. Pack and blend. Like with deeper colors, unless you want that blown out look, you don't really want to blend too much. I was trying to teach my sister how to do eye makeup when I was at home. I was like, don't blend too much, don't blend too much. And she was like, no, you always say blend, blend, blend in your videos. Well, that's not what I mean, Dee. You want to pack the colour on first and then blend a tiny bit. So next, I think I'm going to take that onto the inner crease as well. Inner crease, I'm just going to pop that there. I'm not going to put it on the inner corner of the eye, I'm just going to put it on the inner corner of the lid just to give it a halo effect because I'm an angel and I wear my halo on my eyes. Then next I'm going to go in with Fuego, which is this red colour here. I'm going to take it on a smaller blending brush just so I get some more precision. I pop that on the outer and inner corner. I'm not going to worry about the middle bit in the middle. I'm not going to worry about the bit in the middle because I'm going to put something shimmery there. You just want to make sure that when you're doing a halo eye that the outside is blended. Then taking that final deep purple shade, I'm going to go in with same brush. I'm going to put that on the outer and inner corner and then blend around the edges. I don't want to be blending like this too much because I want that purple to stay in the right place. For the halo, I'm going to start with this colour Ember, which is right on the end. I don't know why Urban Decay does this, but it really upsets my OCD when it goes from light to dark and it has like a lighter colour on the end. It just, and take some Fix Plus and just spray the brush, get into that end colour and apply it. Oh, I love this colour. Okay, so when you do a halo eye, you generally want to go with a lighter colour in the middle and you want to go with like really dark colours on the outside. This colour isn't that dark to be doing it, isn't that light to be doing a halo eye with. I'll wet my brush again and go in with Lumber, which is this one right here. The lighter of the more orangey shimmery shades. I'm going to go into the centre with that. Then going back in with Fuego, which is the red shade. I just want to blend over the edges of the shimmer and the matte shades just to give it a soft blend. I just want to add a tiny bit of pop, so I'm going to go in with the Heavy Metals Glitter by Urban Decay, Midnight Cowboy. I'm going to go in right to the centre. Yes, that's much better. I'm going to pack a tiny bit more of that purple on the outer corner and the inner corner just to give it a tiny bit more contrast. I just want to match the bottom lash line to the top lash line, so I'm going to go in with the darker shade, which is Ashes. I'm going to take it right up to the lower lash line just so that it blends in. It brings the entire eye look together. Then going in with Fuego just underneath, and then finally taking Low Blow, which is one of the more neutral brown shades. I'm going to really blend that out underneath just so that it smokes it out a tiny bit more. Can you see how this eye looks all put together and this eye kind of looks like it's half done? I'm going to tighten my eyes, put some mascara on, put some lashes on, and I'll be right back. I've just put on the Blinking Beauty lashes in design number 7, which are really, really fluffy and really spidery. Can you see how much they just amp the look up even more? And I put some black eyeliner in my tight line, my bottom waterline as well, and I just smoked it out a tiny bit. I'm going to go in with lips. I'm going to start off using the Whirl lip liner from MAC. I'm just going to outline the lips. I don't know what colour I want to use at the moment. I think I'm going to go in with like an orangey kind of colour. I don't know, let's just give it a go. This fly is bugging the living crap out of me. Oh, it looks so 90s right now. I know MAC colours this colour in lipstick, but I don't have that, so I'm just going to colour my entire lip in with this. And I think I'm going to use this one, Miami Fever from Ofra. I'm going to put this on the centre. And then blend that out with my fingers. Oh, I quite like that. It's orange, but it's not too orange. So that is the finished look. I'm just going to run over some of the new products that I use. You already know how I feel about the Fenty foundation because I mentioned it earlier. I think it's slightly drying. It clings on so badly onto dry patches. If you have oily skin, it might be worth checking that out. But if you have dry skin, it might cling onto your dry patches and it will accentuate them unless you use the oil that I use with it. The Hoola bronzer, I really like it. It brings the entire look together. It doesn't look as orangey as it did when I first put it on. It just makes me look warm and toasty. Oh yeah, and the sponge. Really like this sponge. It's really soft. It didn't absorb too much of the product. I really like this flat end at the top because you can get right underneath the eye with the concealer. How does it compare to the other products that I've used, like the Real Technique sponge? It's slightly softer than the Real Technique. It has a different shape from the Real Technique sponge as well, so it helps you get right into areas that might be difficult to get in otherwise. The Real Technique has a flat surface on the bottom side and the rest of it is rounded and it's pointed. The positive of that is that you can get right into the inner corner. You can probably just twist it to the side and use that side and get in there. That's not really such a big problem. The Naked Heat palette. Overall, I do like this palette. It comes in a nice range of shades. However, the variety of the shades, not that great. What I mean by that is you could probably get like 2 or 3 different daytime looks out of this and 2 or 3 different evening looks out of this. There's not much variety that you can get by using this palette, but if you love warm tones, then you'd really love this one. Another thing about this palette is that these dark colors aren't actually that dark. They could have added another deep dark plum or deep dark brown or something that I can get that extra depth on the inner and outer corner. I just felt like I had to add lashes and liner to get that drama that I was hoping from this palette. Some of these shades, they could have taken them out and replaced them with different ones. For example, like these two, Lumber and Scorch, they look kind of similar on the eye. He Devil, Cayenne look similar on the eye. They could have put like a really nice pop of like a light color in there because I had to go in with a glitter just to give it that pop on the, what's that bit called? The middle of the eye. So just a few things which they could have done to make this palette even better, but otherwise it's still really good. I think that's it. Well, I have to go now, but you can stay and watch this video that I'll put up right here. You can also click the button below to make sure you're subscribed to the family, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.